So look, I think we already did the intro, so I think we already played that. So that's good. That's good. We already played the intro. Okay, I just had about, I'd say, a 30-minute rant, and I'm not sure if I want to upload it or not, because I think I really just wanted to get it off my chest, like how frustrated I am right now. Now, here's the thing: if y'all want to see it, I can upload it. It's gonna take me a little bit to edit because it's so long, but just keep in mind, if I upload that, you're gonna see maybe the most unoptimistic of me that you've ever seen. Now, I'm going to redo this. I'm going to come in here a little bit more calm, and I'm going to state my opinions. I want you guys to go in the comments, state your opinions, and I'm going to tell you why I think things need to be done. And, I don't think there's right or wrong answer this season. So I'm going to come into this one a lot more calm. I'm relaxed now. The weight has been lifted off. If y'all want to see that video, let me know. Just understand, if you're going to be like, oh, you're so negative in this one, I'm telling you right now, that's what's going to happen, because I was not happy. Now, look, I don't want to see coaches get fired. I hate the fact of needing to fire coaches and staff after 2 years. It's tough. I don't think that's the way to build a culture. I don't think that's the right way to do things. But there's a lot of reasons to say why maybe we should. You guys, I got tons and tons of notes. I even wrote one on a business card. Look, okay, now like the title suggests, Lions time for a change. Look, I think as fans, some people want to say, here's my thoughts. You guys need to call in the voicemail if you guys have any thoughts. I think we have a right completely as fans to be so upset right now about what's going on with the Detroit Lions. I'm not talking about our history. No. I'm talking about right now, the present. Now, there's a couple of things that people want to take in consideration. Those are injuries. You're trying to establish a new thing. Young players. Those all are in consideration. Now, in my rant, I definitely went off on this. Here, I'm going to say it calmly. I don't think those should be used as excuses for how bad this defense is. Now, hold up. Before you guys start saying, oh, yes, they definitely should. Okay, wait, hold up. I understand we have injuries. Everybody has injuries, and we may have more than other teams. We have a lot of injuries. But let's stay in-house here. Let's look at our offense. How many injuries the offenses went through, and yet what they are putting on the field, like the product they're putting out behind Darrell Bevell, behind a really good, smart, offensive-minded offense coordinator in Darrell Bevell. One of the top offensive coordinators I've seen in a while. Behind Darrell Bevell, a backup quarterback put up 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys are no defense to be laughed at. They're no joke. Why do I say you can't use the excuse for injuries? Because our offense has injuries of their own. Let's just take example for the offense. Matthew Stafford goes down. He's out the last 2 weeks. On a football team, that's the one position that everybody knows. You lose that position, it's the biggest loss you could possibly take. It's bigger than a running back. It's bigger than an offensive lineman. It's bigger than a D lineman. It's bigger than a corner. Your quarterback, for good teams, is what your team revolves around. You need a good quarterback. Well, we lost that. Offensively, we have went through, this is our 5th running back, Bo Scarborough. Yes, Bo Scarborough is our current running back. He's basically our starting running back with J.D. McKissick. So we've had injuries. We've had injury quarterback position. We've had tons of injuries at the running back position. We have our center get hurt in Frank Ragnow. We have had Graham Glasgow go out. We've had Rick Wagner go out. We've seen at one point all of our linemen go out. Rick Wagner has been out for a minute now. Wide receivers, we've been pretty healthy for the most part. We've been kind of fortunate. Danny Amendola had a little injury here and there. But other than the wide receivers, we've been banged up for sure. I mean, fullbacks we've missed. We've missed tons of linemen. We've been through running backs. We're on our backup quarterback, and yet this product is still so good from the offense. This product is good enough to win games, but yet we're not doing it. Now, defensively, we have injuries. We have tons of injuries. Deshaun Hand, Tracy Walker has been down at times. Just across the board, Mike Daniels. These are all tough injuries, right? These are all unfortunate. You can't do anything about it. But it's not like this team has no talent with these injuries. I mean, up till during the last game, we had Trey Flowers the whole time. We haven't had Mike Daniels the whole time. He played last game, though. He did. And it still was a bad product. We've had Sean Robinson, who's dealt with injuries here and there, but this team's not completely healthy. But who's going to be completely healthy in an NFL season? Let's be real. No one is. So now other people want to use the excuse, okay, well, we're young, or these players are new, right? There are a lot of new players. There's a lot of young players defensively. There also is offensively, and yet look what they're doing. Jeff Driscoll is 100% standing on that podium of new and young. You are taking over the quarterback position from Matthew freaking Stafford, and you are asked to score, to throw the ball. What? You're asked him to put up the same production as Stafford? He's not at that level, but he's putting up crazy production. Now, defensively, youthfulness, right? Oh, we have young safeties. We have Will Harris, Tracy Walker. Well, we would have Quandre Diggs. You did that to yourself, team, so don't give me the whole safety spiel. You traded away Diggs yourself. You didn't have to do that. The Lions did that to themselves. There was no need to do that, but they did. So don't tell me the safeties are that useful, okay? Now, looking across the board, linebackers. We are all the same linebackers except for one in Tavai, and he has played our best, you could say. So again, no youthfulness that should not be excuse there. Cornerbacks. We have some new cornerbacks, but you paid these guys money for a reason. You've had Darius Slay. You paid Justin Coleman $27 million. You have Rashaan Melvin, who you signed again to a contract. You didn't have to go get Rashaan. You could have done a lot of things. You had your second pick. You didn't have to take the bye. You had the free agency. You had the trade deadline. You didn't make a move to go get anything. You had the options to. So you are with these guys that you brought in during the offseason. There is not that many injuries, and there is not that much youthfulness and new players to the point where we should be this bad defensively. I understand not an elite group. But us as fans, we need to see a defense with a defensive mind that can get by. This is atrocious what our defense is doing. We are on pace to have our worst defensive year ever. Lions history. That is not okay. I don't care how many injuries we have. We are not completely playing all backups. And even if you were, the worst ever? Are you serious? What, by a defensive mind? That can't happen. Have we had injuries? Sure. But why? Here's my big problem right here. Here's my problem. And again, I don't like firing coaches and stuff. We are believing that in the future this team is on the right path. Why? Why do we believe this staff has us on the right path for the future? What have they shown us at all to tell us that they are on the right path? This team is getting worse and worse. They are continually declining. They have shown no adjustments, no improvements at whatsoever, and you have a defensive-minded coach who can't get a win, yet your offense is putting up historic stats. Your offense is one of the better ones in the league, and you can't win games because your defense lets you down consistently. What game this year have they showed us any kind of promise? I'll tell you. The Chargers game. And that's pretty much it. We've had turnovers in the beginning ones. We punched a couple balls out, but that's it. We have been awful. We have given up tons of yards. We've given up points. We can't hold teams to field goals. We have not been good at all. There is no, here's a bright spot. This is what we can look at and say, okay, we can build off of this. What are we building off of? Why are we believing that this coaching staff that we currently have is on the right path for the future? There is no culture. The culture that we think is being built right now, there's no culture. Us as a Lions fans, we should be mad. There's no culture right now. We are losing every game because our defense can't do anything. That's not a culture. What is the best way to see if people are buying in? How do you know if people are buying into what you're selling, right? Okay, I'm coming in. This is what we're going to do. You guys with me? Yeah, we're with you. Okay. How do I know you're buying it? Well, results. And I'm not even saying just wins and losses. We need to see some improvement or some glimpses of hope. Like, oh yeah, that was a good game. We can learn from that one. We haven't seen any of that. We have seen no results that tell us we are on the right path. Nothing. We have not seen a single result that's told us that. So why are we putting blind faith and blind belief in these guys? Because they're with the Patriots? Come on, man. You know how many people have been from the Patriots, have been from Bill Belichick? And I've been with these guys all year. I've been rocking with these dudes. But man, there is no improvement defensively. It is so terrible. There is no way that we can give this a pass. You can say, okay, well, they're not really good because there's injuries. You can say they're not even good because there's injuries. You can say they're not average because of injuries. But to be the worst? Come on, bro. This is not okay. There is no reason we are the worst defense. It is not the fact that fans are not cheering. Like, I talked about this on my old channel. If you guys remember my old channel, I had a video that said a word to the fans. And I was talking about, how I went to the game and I was like, fans are leaving and, they're just not buying in. Well, that was because it was his first year. And I was like, you know what? This isn't right. It's happening again at the same time. Actually, maybe a little bit later now, maybe earlier. I don't know. But it's not because, it's not bad for the fans to not be happy with the product that it's putting out there. Are you kidding me? Who is happy with this product? Who believes that we're on the right path? Why do we believe we're on the right path? Because we have blind hope for no reason. I believe in this team. I believe that this team can figure it out, and I'm so optimistic. I hope this team wins the Super Bowl. I thought this team was going to be great this year, just like a lot of people did, but they have completely let us down. So why should our expectations change? Maybe our expectations were set too high. Maybe we set the expectations so high that it's not okay. That they weren't going to reach those. Okay, that's fine. But our expectations shouldn't be, let's not be the worst defense in the league. What the heck is that? Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, our expectations can't be, let's be 31st. And then, we were just off. What do you mean you were just off? That's terrible. That's not good expectations. It's not that the fans are not being realistic. It's that we're sick of this and we're hoping that this team can finally win something. We have not gotten anything, no results out of this. We should be upset. We have not set the bar too high. And if the Lions are going into this saying, we're not going to be good anyways, why are you coaching? What do you mean you're not going to be good? Have you seen what the Lions were doing before you came in here? You're not even relevant. And yet you have one of the better offenses that Jim Caldwell didn't always have. Okay? Jim Caldwell's in here. In 2014, we're 11-5. 2016, we're in the playoffs. We're constantly right on the edge. 9-7. 2017, 9-7. We bring in Patricia. That's not good enough. But if it's not good enough for them, then why as fans should our expectations be lower than that? Why as fans, how are they going to tell us after they get rid of Caldwell that it's not good enough to be mediocre and that we need to be winning championships, and yet when they fail, our expectations should be lower? It's because our expectations are too high of this team. Our expectations are not too high. Now, maybe if your expectations are Super Bowl, okay. If your expectations are at least 9-7, those are not too high. You know why it's not too high? Because we consistently were doing that. Don't come out and tell us, hey, look, we're getting rid of this guy because it's not good enough. You know what that says? You know what it says when you're right on the fringe of the playoffs every year and you're consistently fighting for a playoff spot and then you get rid of that guy? It tells you one thing. This team knows they are better than that. They're better than that product that was put on the field. But yet, look at the results. We are not. We are worse. How did we get worse? And again, the injury thing, it stinks. And I'm not saying this team has to be 97 because this team, if they had an okay if they were 24th, 27th in defense, heck, give them 27th. I'd be like, okay, I get it. There's a lot of injuries. It's the second year. He's trying to do his own thing. I get it. But, bro, it's not working. You're not changing anything. Why should I believe for any reason that this coaching staff is going to fix it? Us as fans, we are not unrealistic to believe that this team should be better. This team was 9-7 consistently, and you fire him because you're not winning championships, and you bring in another coach that you're expecting to do so, and when they don't, we're the problem? Come on, man. We're not the problem. Us as fans are supposed to have high expectations. We are fans for a reason. We just watched this team consistently be a playoff contender, and yet they bring in a new coach, and they're telling us, hey, look, we're going to start winning championships because that's not good enough. My expectations should be through the roof. You just fired a guy that's consistently 9-7. My expectations should be at least a playoff win. You were 11-5 in 2014, and that's not good enough. My expectations should be, wow, this team, oh my goodness. Our worst season was 7-9. Best season 11-5. We're consistently right on the playoffs. You're firing him because you want it better. Okay, my expectations are at least a playoff win. Our expectations aren't too high. Here's the thing. It's not that we're not being realistic as fans. It's that they're letting us down. It's not realistic to come into this year and honestly tell yourself that this team should be worse. Why is this team worse? Again, injuries. Okay, not this bad. Shout out to Darrell Bevel for doing his thing. But come on, man, this defense is garbage. This has been absolutely garbage. Let's not blame the players. A lot of these players are the same. We have the same average age defensively as we did last season. We're not that young. We still have all these veterans. You have Matty P, who's the second year. You think he figured it out a little bit. At least show us some glimpses like, oh, hey, remember that game? I think he knows what he's doing. We just got to get back to that. Or we just got to find that consistency. Consistency to what? There's no consistency. Stop talking about consistency, Matt Patricia. What are you trying to get consistent at? Losing? Because you're doing that. You are very consistent right now. Our defense is terrible every single week. That's very consistent if you ask me. Instead, we need to figure out how to be inconsistent. That way, at least some weeks, we have a good defense. I'm sorry. Look, I'm going on the rant again, but my goodness. It's crazy to say that us as fans are just unrealistic. You know why? You know why we blame ourselves? Because we're not trying to put the blame on this team. Yet they gave us the reason. They gave us the hope. Did anybody tell them to fire them? No. Maybe you want to call out of here. But they don't listen to us anyways, right? They're doing their own thing. Did anyone tell us that wasn't good enough, that we needed championships? They did. And now we're not doing it. And we're the problem. Oh, our expectations are too high. You're thinking up here. And really, we should be thinking down here. Why? Why should we be thinking down here after what we saw? Why is our expectations considerably dropping? Why? Well, it's because the defense is letting us down. And Matt Patricia's defensive guru-ness, I don't know if that's a word, is letting us down. So we try to adjust our expectations during the season and say, oh, wait a minute. We shouldn't have high expectations for this team. Yes, you should. This team was a playoff team, and that wasn't good enough. And now we're not even competing. Our expectations are fine. We aren't the problem. Let's not blame ourselves for this. Stop blaming each other for this. Stop saying our expectations are too high when they just consistently are letting us down defensively. We brought in a defensive coach. Spent so much money this offseason. You brought in all these players. You got our hopes up firing him that wasn't good enough. You bring in Matty P. You got your guys, and we can't win. Our expectations are not too high. If anything, they're too low now. We should still have high expectation that this is going to turn around. But they're dropping consistently because we're watching them take L's. And we're seeing that and we're like, wow. Okay, I expected this team to win 6 games. Then why in the future, then answer me this. You people, why do you believe then in the next year or the year after that with these guys, our expectations are good? Like, I fear a lot of people say, oh, well, next year we'll get it. How many years have we heard that? Why in the world are our expectations high for next year? They were high coming to this year. Don't tell me they weren't. I know some of you may not have bought into the hype as much as some other people did. But our expectations were pretty high going in this year. A lot of people. And it started off to the point where like, oh yeah, it's actually going to work out. And don't tell me that when we were sitting at 2-1, you didn't think this team was going to be really good. I know a lot of people after that Chiefs game that came up and said, hey, look, man, this team gave me a lot of confidence they can compete. And now look at us. Where's all those people now? Oh, well, our expectations were too high. No, they weren't. I'm not going to make this video too long. We aren't the problem. The fact is, I don't know why we think that this same group that can't find any kind of success in the future years is going to get it right. Like, oh, they just haven't got everything they needed yet. Or, oh, they just haven't adjusted to his culture yet. What culture? Losing? We've been used to that culture. And again, I have optimism. I have hope in this team, but they have not shown us anything. Why do we believe that this same group is going to fix it? The same reason we believed when Jim Caldwell was out of here that this team was going to start winning something. Tons of people did. Jim Caldwell gets out of here. That's not good enough. And they give us that belief like, oh, you're right. That is not good enough. And if you're saying it, it's got to be true. You get Matt Patricia. He's won. Let's go pay all this money to sign these free agents. Injuries have hurt us. Don't get me wrong. And again, if your expectations were up in the clouds and, those are too high, it's fine. Injuries stink, but there's no reason we are this bad. I said I would give him a pass if they were 27th. If we could just show a couple of glimpses of hope defensively. The only hope that we see is from the same players that give us big plays every year. Big play Slay. Oh, we almost had a pick. That's not because of Matt Patricia. He does that every single year. If anything, he's not getting picks anymore. It's not us. It's not the fans. Don't blame yourself for this. There's no reason that you had too high of expectations. And if you think, oh yeah, all of these fans are wrong for having high expectations, why are we watching the games? We really came to this year expecting this team to be bad? Oh, we have all these injuries. Tell me the offense doesn't have injuries. They're playing with Jeff Driscoll and they're scoring 28 points. 27. They went for 2. They scored 4 touchdowns with Jeff Driscoll. Why? Here, answer this. Why going into this game? Our expectations were low offensively too, right? We're like, hopefully Jeff Driscoll does something good. We're just hoping that he does something good. It's like, wow, he played a pretty good game. But defensively, constantly going to games, and you say, oh, well, what were we thinking? Why did we believe that this defense would be good? We shouldn't have thought that. That's dumb. That's a dumb way to think. We knew coming into this Cowboys game that we were going to get destroyed anyways. The reason we know that is because they haven't shown us any reason to believe otherwise. And that is why I think it's time for a change. And I don't know what it is. Paul Pasquale may be out after this year just so Patricia can use him as a scapegoat and save a year. I don't know. Maybe nothing happens. Again, I'm not for firing coaches. But this is a complete disaster. And it is not getting any better. There's no improvements, no sign of improvements. I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to give you guys updates. Check out DoseOfDion Gaming channel. If you guys disagree, that's fine. I want you guys to call in. If you guys have any thoughts, call in. I'll react to them. We might even do a live stream. If I can figure out how to do a live stream with the call-ins, that'd be really cool. That way you guys can call in. We can just hear you. So we'll try to figure that out. But just call into the voice number. It should be in the community. If you scroll down a little bit, you should be able to find it. Anyways, I appreciate all of you guys for stopping in. Don't blame yourself. We're allowed to have high expectations, and we should. This team has just let us down. Thank you for watching. Oh, wait. If your reason is, oh, well, I never have high expectations. Good for you then. I mean, if you never have high expectations, you always believe this team is going to be bad every year. Honestly, I don't know why you watch the games then. I mean, I guess you're right. You're correct. If you thought this team coming year would be terrible, congrats. You were right. I mean, and I said this. I said, like, if this team is really bad, you guys can roast me. Roast me right now for being wrong. I don't care. I know I was wrong. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.